I'm Kaeya, cavalry captain for the Knights of Favonius. My eye patch. Want to hear my story, eh? I know a great place more fit for a chat.
My name is Xiangling. I'm a chef from Liyue. If there's nothing better to do, we could go foraging for ingredients. I summon thee! Wheel of life. Life goes on. I am astrologist. Incoming! Speed of light! Don't blink! Hey!
There's nowhere to run. Hey, girlie, hold still.
origin of alchemy, the basis of all life. Chalk, the substance from which primal life is molded.
Always hear them. If you cannot bring yourself to kill, speak my name. Evil conquering! Do not judge a death die by your mortal ideals. These severed karmic binds! Disperse!
Nor the betterment of others, but for yourself.
Punishment! Shiver!
I can no longer hold back.
Opening box of Adepti-Trix. Rain Cutter! Is it time for me to join you? Time to go! Cross over! Incinerate! Time for your arraignment! Anyway...
Dance of Sacrifice, Act 3. Flickering Candlelight.
The clash, but he has quickly become the dark horse of the tournament.
The vision is missing.
The sounds of nature turn into a clamor of noise during stormy weather. The winds are coming. Clouds high. The birds come!
Performance is about to begin.
Oh. In that case, you saw this coming.
What, you mean these amateurs? I was saving them for you.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Last line stirs the drifter's heart.
In addition to us, there was also the resistance on Watatsumi Island. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group.
Remove all threats to eternity! By order of the Almighty Shogun!
Adopted daughter of the Kuju clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army.
The resistance never betrays its own.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left to the Tenryo Commission?
The wait is over, my comrades.
You will be inlaid upon this statue.
Ready for the hunt.
This'll pack a punch.
The hunt is on! This is a new one.
Time to rock! Never thought I'd run into familiar faces so far from home.
This place, yes, this used to be my dominion.
It's the scent of monsters, the aroma of battle.
Coming through! Step aside, Itto's back in town.
You've had your fun, now it's goodbye.
Shut up, would ya? I'm the one who's supposed to be adored by the kids. Me!
Not if I have anything to say about it. To survive hardship, you must prepare for hardship.
Keep your weapon at the ready. You never know what's around the corner.
Fire hazard! Hold the line!
Arataki numero uno Itto here in the flesh. Cause I'm Arataki Itto, the Supreme, the one and only. Now it's showtime! Let's roll! Want some of this?
Watch out!
It reminds me of different times. Time to ruffle a few feathers. Dawn, break forth!
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Devata.
You may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
A shield is not enough to protect the most important things. That's why I must also wield a spear.